Students, good morning. Welcome to our science class of class 8th. I hope that you all are good and doing your studies. Now today we are here with the same chapter number 8. As this chapter was too long, so I have divided this chapter into 4 parts, in which up to 3rd parts I have already taught you, and this is the last and the 4th part of this chapter. As you know that previously I have taught you about the some topics that is found in this chapter. I have told you about the nucleus, about the cell membrane. Now today we are going to discuss about the some other cell organelles that is present in the cytoplasm of the cell. I have told you about that what is cell organelles. Cell organelles means the components that is present in the cytoplasm of the cell is commonly known as cell organelles. So let's discuss with the some other cell organelles that is found in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is also a kind of cell organelle that is present in the cytoplasm of the cell. So look at the diagram here. It is consists of an irregular network of channels which is bounded by the membranes, and they are interconnected with each other, and these membranes are interconnected with each other. They can only be seen only with the help of electron microscope, and you can only be observed it with the help of electron microscope. The term endoplasmic reticulum was first used by Porter and Fulham in 1945, and it is known as ergastoplasm, found in cells except prokaryotic cells and RBC of mammals. So it is found in all the types of cells except prokaryotic cells and RBC of mammals. It is very well developed in those cells which are actively synthesizing protein, lipids and hormones. For example, it is found in the cells of liver, it is found in the cells of pancreas. In muscles, they are known as sacroplasmic reticulum. In muscles, they are commonly known as sacroplasmic reticulum. So the endoplasmic reticulum is a double unit membrane structure, and it occur in 3 morphological forms. And it also occur in 3 morphological form. The first one is cisternae, the second one is vesicles, and the third one is tubules. So these are the 3 morphological form of the endoplasmic reticulum. So on the basis of the presence of the ribosome on its outer surface, we divide it into 2 categories. The first category is of rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the second category is of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So let's know about that. What is rough endoplasmic reticulum and what is smooth endoplasmic reticulum? The endoplasmic reticulum, which have ribosome on its outer surface, that gives its rough appearance, or we can say the granular appearance, is commonly known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the endoplasmic reticulum that do not have any ribosome, thus it appears smooth, is commonly known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So we have just divided it into 2 categories on the basis of the presence of the ribosome on its surface, on its outer surface, rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this is about the endoplasmic reticulum. Now we are going to know about its function. It is commonly associated with the synthesis, storage and transport of the metabolic products, and it also gives the internal support to the colloidal matrix. That colloidal matrix is also known as cytoplasm. So it also provides the internal support to the cytoplasm of the cell. So this is about the function and about the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum. And this term endoplasmic reticulum was first used by Porter and Fulham in 1945. It is commonly found in all the cells except in prokaryotic cell and RBC of mammals. And it is also known as ergastoplasm, and in muscles it is commonly known as sacroplasmic reticulum. So this is about the endoplasmic reticulum that I have told you. So our next topic is about the mitochondria. Now we are going to know about the structure of the mitochondria and about its function. Mitochondria, as we know that it is commonly known as the powerhouse of the cell. So later on we are going to discuss that why it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. So firstly know that about its structure. They are the granular organelles that is present in the cytoplasm of all the eukaryotic cells except RBC of mammals. A mitochondria consists of an outer membrane and inner membrane, and that inner membrane is folded inwards. That inner membrane is folded inwards. Just look at the diagram that is given to you here. It is consists of outer membrane and inner membrane, and that inner membrane which is folded inward to form cristae, that is folded inward to form cristae, and that cristae lie in a ground substance, and that ground substance in which cristae is found is commonly known as matrix. So look at the diagram that is given to you here: outer membrane, inner membrane, matrix and cristae. So look at these things that is present in the mitochondria. Matrix has mitochondria. So we are going to know that what these matrix contains. The matrix mainly contains mitochondrial DNA, RNA and dense granules about 300 to 500 angstrom in size. Mitochondria consist of enzymes. They mainly consist of enzymes that is necessary for the oxidation of glucose, thus releasing energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So this mitochondria mainly consists of enzymes that is mainly necessary for the oxidation of glucose and thus releasing the energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So that's why it is commonly known as the powerhouse of the cell. So this is about the mitochondria that I have told you. I have told you about its structure and its function. So the next type of organelle is vacuoles. Now we are going to know about that vacuole, where it is found. That vacuole is commonly found in plant cell. It may be absent or may be found in animal cell. If it is present in animals, it is smaller in size. So we are going to know about its function and about its structure. So the vacuole is a type of a space in a cytoplasm of a cell. So there is a space in the cytoplasm of the cell which is enclosed by a membrane, and the membrane that is found on its surface is known as tonoplast, and it usually contains the substances dissolved in water, and this vacuole mainly contains the substances which is dissolved in water. Vacuole appears as empty space under the microscope. When you look it with the help of microscope, you will observe that it is a type of empty space. All the plant cells have the large vacuole, and this vacuole is mainly filled with a liquid, and that liquid that is present in it is known as cell sap. That cell sap mainly contains dissolved sugar and salt, and that cell sap mainly contains dissolved sugar and salt. The function of the vacuole in a cell is to store the various substances including waste product of the cell. So the function of the vacuole is to store the different types of substances that mainly includes the waste product of the cell. This is the main function of the vacuole. Most of the animal cells do not have vacuoles, but some animal cells have the vacuoles. For example, amoeba. Amoeba is an animal cell which have very small vacuole, but the vacuole that is found in amoeba is commonly known as food vacuole because it contains the food particle. So it is mainly absent in animal cell, or if it is found in animal cell, it is very smaller in size. And I have given you one example of amoeba, that is an animal cell which contains the food vacuole, but that contains the vacuole, but it is commonly known as food vacuole because it contains the food particles. So this is about the vacuole. So the next topic is about the plastids. Now we are going to know about the plastid, where it is found and what are its function. So the plastids are commonly found in plant cell. They are absent in animal cell. There is no any kind of plastids is found in animal cell. They are mainly present in plant cell, and they contain the different color pigments. On the basis of that, we divide it into three types: leucoplast, chromoplast and chloroplast. So later on we are going to discuss about all these kinds of plastids. So the plastids, on the basis of the color pigments it contains, it divided into three types, that is chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast, in which the first one is leucoplast. Leucoplast means this is a type of plastid that do not contain any kind of pigment. It is white in color. So its main function is to store the food of the plant. So depending upon the type of the food that is stored by the leucoplast, they are also divided into three types. Just look at the diagram that is given to you, that leucoplast is again divided into three types. The first one is of amyloplast. The amyloplast is function is to store the starch. Second one is elioplast. Its function is to store the oil droplets. And alleroplast, that is commonly known as protein plast, and its function is to store the proteins in them. So they are divided into three types on the basis of the type of the food is stored by them. So the next one is about the chloroplast. Now we are going to know about that chloroplast. Chloroplast is green in color. It is a type of green color plastid, and that contains a green pigment. That green pigment that is present in it is commonly known as chlorophyll. These green plastids are the commonly known as chloroplast, and their number varies from species to species. And it also have two distinct parts. This chloroplast also have two distinct parts. The first part is the colorless ground substance that is present in it is commonly known as stroma. Just look at the diagram is given to you. Here the stroma is there. So the stroma is what? Stroma is a colorless ground substance, and that stroma mainly contains ribosome, circular DNA molecule and lipid droplets. And that stroma is mainly consists of ribosome, circular DNA molecule and lipid droplets. Second part is closed, flat, stack-like membrane system is also found. These closed, flat, stack-like membrane system is known as grana. So look at the diagram here given to you. Grana is also there. So what is grana? Grana is a closed, flat, stack-like membrane system. So these are the two distinct parts of the chloroplast. As the chlorophyll molecules are arranged in grana, in these grana which traps the solar energy. So the chlorophyll molecules that is arranged in these granas traps the solar energy, thus manufacture the food of the plant body by the process of photosynthesis. They are therefore known as the kitchen house of the cell. So that's why they are commonly known as the kitchen house of the cell. So chloroplast is commonly known as the kitchen house of the cell because the chlorophyll molecules arranged in these granas trap the solar energy and help in the manufacture of the food of the plant body by the process of photosynthesis. So that's why they are known as the kitchen house of the cell. So let's know about its more function. Chloroplasts manufacture the food of the plant body by the process of photosynthesis. As I have told you, there are different types of leucoplasts that store the food in them. I have told you that on the basis of the type of food stored in them, they are divided into three types: alleroplast, amyloplast and protein plast, elioplast. So there is some synthesis of ATP in this process, and this process also some synthesis of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, also takes place during the photosynthesis process. So this is about the chloroplast that I have told you. Chromoplast. Chromoplast are the plastids that produce and store the pigments, and these are mainly responsible for the color of the vegetables, for the color of the fruits, for the color of the flowers. These are responsible for the color of the leaves, fruits, flowers and vegetables. For example, carotene is found in, carotene is a pigment that is present in carrot. Xanthophyll is a pigment that is present in mango, and lycopene is a pigment that is present in tomato. So these color are mainly due to the presence of these pigments. And chromoplast are the type of plastids that is present in plant cell that is mainly responsible for the color of the leaves, flowers, fruits and vegetables. So I have told you about the three types of plastid. I have told you about the leucoplast, I have told you about the chloroplast, and I have told you about the chromoplast. So I have told you that what is plastid and what are the function of the plastid, and it is divided into three types on the basis of the pigments it contains. It is divided into leucoplast, and that leucoplast on the basis of the type of food stored in them is divided into three categories, that is ileoplast, aleuroplast and proteinplast. So about the chloroplast, I have told you that chloroplast that contains the green color pigment, that green color pigment is known as chlorophyll, and it mainly helps in the process of photosynthesis to manufacture the food of the plant. And it is also consists of two distinct parts, that is stroma and grana. I have told you about that chromoplast and what are its function. So our next topic is about the centrosome. Now we are going to know about the centrosome. Centrosome is a type of cell organelle that is mainly found in animal cell, and it is absent in plant cell. So these are found in animal cells, and it is commonly seen in motile algae. It has two cylindrical structure. Let's look at the diagram. It has a cylindrical structure, and that cylindrical structure is known as centrioles, and that is surrounded by the centrosphere. Centrioles are arranged at right angles to each other, and these centrioles are arranged at, look at the diagram here, these centrioles are arranged at right angles to each other, and they are made up of microtubules. The function of the centrosome is mainly it helps in the cell division. So it is a type of the cell organelle that is mainly present in animal cell or in motile algae, and its function is that it helps in the cell division. So this is about the centrosome. Now we are going to know about the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. So we are going to talk about that which kind of cell are known as prokaryotic cell and which kind of cells are known as eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell means these are the most primitive cell than the eukaryotic cell, and the prokaryotic cell have the simple structure. The nucleus of the pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. Pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. They have no nuclear membrane around the nuclear material in the prokaryotic cell. So these are the primitive cells. These have the simple structure, and the most important feature of these kinds of cells is that they do not have the nuclear membrane around the nuclear material. The cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane is commonly known as prokaryotic cells. So how we can define it like this? The cell having the nuclear material without the nuclear membrane is commonly known as prokaryotic cell. The nuclear material in the prokaryotic cell is in direct contact with the cytoplasm because it do not contain any kind of nuclear membrane. So its nuclear material means the thing that is found inside the nucleus that are in direct contact with the cytoplasm. In fact, prokaryotic cells have no real nucleus, The organism that is made up of prokaryotic cell is commonly known as prokaryote, and the organism that is made up of these prokaryotic cell is commonly known as prokaryotes. All prokaryotes are simple unicellular organism. The simple unicellular organism whose cells do not possess nucleus bounded by the nuclear membrane. That type of organism are commonly known as prokaryotes. So which type of organism are known as prokaryotes? These are the simple unicellular organism whose nucleus is not bounded by the nuclear membrane, is commonly known as prokaryotes. Prokaryotes have no real nucleus in their cell. Prokaryotes are relatively simple organism. For example, bacteria and blue-green algae. Blue-green algae is commonly known as cyanobacteria. So bacteria and blue-green algae are the common examples of the prokaryotes. Bacterium is a prokaryote because its cell have no real nucleus. So the bacterium is known as prokaryotes because cell do not have the real nucleus. The nuclear material in bacterium cell is surrounded by the nuclear membrane. The nuclear material in a bacterium cell is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane, so that's why they are in direct contact with the cytoplasm. The nucleus of bacterium cell is not well organized like nucleus of the cells of the multicellular organism. So prokaryotes were probably the first living things to evolve on the earth. Prokaryotes are the first living things that evolve on the earth. Now we are going to talk about the eukaryotic cell. So let's talk about that. Which type of cells are known as eukaryotic cell? Eukaryotic cell, eu means true and karyon means nucleus. The cells having the nuclear material enclosed by the nuclear membrane is known as eukaryotic cell. It is just opposite of that of prokaryotic cells. Here the cells having the nuclear material and that is surrounded by the nuclear membrane. Eukaryotic cell have proper well organized nucleus. The prokaryotic cell do not have the proper well organized nucleus, but the eukaryotic cell have the proper well organized nucleus. Here the nuclear material in the eukaryotic cell is not in direct contact with the cytoplasm. What we have seen in case of prokaryotic cell. In case of prokaryotic cell, the nuclear material is in direct contact with the cytoplasm. But here, the nuclear material is not in direct contact with the cytoplasm and is separated from the cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. In case of prokaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is absent, but in case of eukaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is present. Eukaryotic cell are more advanced than prokaryotic cell. Amoeba cell is a eukaryotic cell because it has proper nucleus bounded by the nuclear membrane. I have given you the example of the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell example, I have given you the example of the bacterium. Here the amoeba is a type of eukaryotic cell that have the proper nucleus bounded by the nuclear membrane. Let's take some other example also. Onion peel cells, cheek cells. These all are the example of the eukaryotic cell. The organism that is made up of eukaryotic cell is commonly known as eukaryotes. I have told you that what are prokaryotes. The organism that is made up of prokaryotic cell is known as prokaryote, and the organism that is made up of eukaryotic cell is known as eukaryotes. The organism whose cells possess nucleus bounded by the nuclear membrane is commonly known as eukaryotes. All the organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae, except bacteria and blue-green algae, all the organisms, for example plants, animals, fungi, protozoa, all are eukaryotes. Amoeba is an eukaryote. It has a distinct nucleus bounded by the nuclear membrane. Human being, lion, tiger, dog, cat, birds, rose plant, neem tree, mushroom, all are the example of eukaryotes. So we will now discuss the variety in number, shape and size of the cells present in living organism. As I have already told you about the different size of the cells are present, different shape of the cells are present. So this is about the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. Our next topic is about the animal cell and the plant cell. Now we are going to differentiate between the animal cell and the plant cell. So the plant cell, the first important feature of the plant cell is that it has the shell wall around the cell membrane. But in case of animal cell, there is no any cell wall is found around the cell membrane. So the animal cell have only the cell membrane, but the plant cell have the cell membrane as well as the cell wall. The cell wall is found above the cell membrane. Now plant cell have the photosynthetic plant cell has the chloroplast in it. It has a chloroplast in it. Other plant cell have different plastids in them. Here the chloroplast is found and other different types of plastids is present, but in case of animal cell there is no any chloroplast and other plastids are found. Because animal cell no any photosynthesis process takes place, so there is no any chloroplast and other plastids are present in case of animal cell. But these photosynthetic plant cell have the chloroplast and different plastids are also present in it. Plant cell have the large vacuole, but the animal cell usually have the no vacuole and only small. Some animal cell have the small vacuoles. So this is the difference between the animal cell and the plant cell. Here the centrioles are present in case of animal cell, but centrioles are absent in case of plant cell. So this is the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell I have told you.